I took an Uber today, and once I got in the car and we stopped talking about the weather and how cold it is, I was telling the driver, that I'm very excited about November because I would like to see the bloodbath of the ANC at the polls. I would like to see how much South Africans want to fix their municipalities and towns. And so I'm very very excited. I'm like, yeah, man, who you vote, who you gonna vote for? And then he comes back and he looks at me and says, no, man, I'm from Zim. I don't vote. So sorry, man. I said, no, but it's one of those things, man. But I'm just excited because I'm sure you agree with me that we have to get rid of the ANC because, I mean, how long have you been in South Africa? He says 15 years. And I say to him, if you've been driving around Joburg for 15 years, you know that the ANC has destroyed our towns and especially the CBD. And he says, yeah, I can see it. I say, cool. So you agree with me that we should get rid of the ANC? And then, to my surprise, this guy turns around and says, why do you guys want to get rid of the ANC? And I say to him, no, what do you mean? Everybody understands right now in South Africa in 2026 that the state of our metros, is the state of the city of Joburg, because I can speak for the city of Joburg, requires us to get rid of the ANC. And this guy says to me that if you get rid of the ANC, who's going to run the city? That is the question he asked me. This man is in his 40s. And he asked me a question that says, if we vote the ANC out, who's going to run the cities? So, I did not want to judge him because I've seen that problem. It's a very, very familiar problem where people in Limpopo give the ANC in the past election 73%. People in the Eastern Cape give the ANC over 60% of the vote. And then people in the Eastern Cape, when they're looking for job opportunities, they go to the Western Cape. And when they get to the Western Cape, they vote for the same party that ruined their province. People in Limpopo gave the ANC 73% in the past elections. And Limpopo is my home province. There are no job opportunities there. Probably the only opportunities that are left is for the municipalities that they keep ruining. So you leave Limpopo, you come to Gauteng to look for opportunities. When you find those opportunities, the first thing that you're going to do when you get to the voting station is vote for the party that had not given you any opportunities in the province where you come from. So this man from Zim doesn't understand my excitement of wanting to get rid of the ANC because he should be recognizing patterns that he left his country to come to South Africa looking for opportunities because they don't exist in his country. But then when he gets to South Africa and starts seeing the patterns that led to his country not having opportunities, when those patterns are in his face, you can see the decline of South Africa and the towns and the cities. But you still believe that the ANC should continue governing. So it is, anybody in the comments, please tell me what word we use for this situation where a person leaves a province or a country because things in that province or country are not working. He moves to a country or province or town where there are better opportunities and it looks like things are working. When he gets to that town, he still votes for the party he ran away from because, let's be honest, the ANC and ZANU-PF is the same party. So this phenomenon, like, I don't understand how that works. And it made me think that, Africa as a continent finds itself in this position because of this, because of a situation where people vote for a government that abuses them. And for the life of me, I don't understand what the bondage is, where you clearly know it's not about evidence anymore. It is common knowledge that the government that is in charge is not doing a good job. The government that is in charge is stealing. The government that is in charge is not putting the citizens first. Everybody knows this, and you still go and vote for them. So when that Zimbabwean man told me, I don't want to judge him, but it made me realize why Africa stands a very, very small chance of developing in the next 100 years. Because we have citizens of countries that are run by criminals or politicians that abuse them, but then in return, they reward the same politicians because it's just the government. If you don't keep these people in, there could be somebody worse. So it's something that I observed today, and I thought I'd just share it with you today to say, this man comes from Zimbabwe. He crossed the border, driving an Uber, because he wants a better life. But when he gets to South Africa, with all the signs of what happened in his country all over the place, he is in denial. He doesn't want to accept that the current government is not working. You have people who move from provinces that give the ANC 73% or 60 plus percent that leave those provinces because of lack of opportunities, go to provinces where there's opportunities. When they get to those provinces, they vote for the same government they ran away from. Explain that to me. Please, what is the word for this? Because it's fascinating for a person to escape a system and they get to a new place and then they want to implement the same system they ran away from. It is mind-blowing.